Well, I said good afternoon. Is that how you come to class? I thought. Anyone who wants to learn needs to know how to open their mouths and talk to you. You can't just be listeners all the time. So, you come to learn about spirituality and intersexuality, right?
No, not really.
Well, interesting topic it is indeed. I thought so because I've been studying it for quite a while. I'm living it, actually.
You don't say.
So, history. 1979. I was born male-gendered, raised by my parents, two elite Christians. Elite not because they were rich, but because they were special. Elitist. And believe you me, when I told them that I was not a cisgendered male, they were not pleased. So I'm going to give you a history on why it wasn't okay for me to state that I was a woman. Now people still don't understand the phenomenon of the complexity of my intersexuality, or my connection to God, and neither do psychologists. Psychologists state that intersexuality is an acquired sexual discordance, in which an individual's phenotype and genotype are so or so, and that his or her psychotype is so or so. They say that this thus requires transsexual conversion. But you see, I'm going to tell you the difference between what they say and who I am. I don't need to remove or add to my genitalia to proclaim my womanhood, because the genitalia never made me a man. At my root, I am spirit, and spirituality, as one may define it, is how they relate or connect to a higher power. Some call it God, the universe, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, and or what have you. I was raised in a home where Jesus was his name, and I believed in him. I did, yes. At least I tried, until I shared my identity with my parents. And they just used Jesus to beat me down. They said I was sexually immoral. They said I had no right to state that I was not a man. Would you believe it? They said that I was sick. They put me in a box, and all of a sudden, the child they'd known for 17 years wasn't acceptable because Jesus didn't approve of her. Or so they said. I've been doing my research, you see, and the Bible states that it is a sin to be sexually immoral. But what about being who I am and loving who I love is immoral? It's who I know I am. And if in the beginning, we, the primordial we, were neither male nor female, but of spirit and of God, what makes us so rigid? Is it our bodies? Just my body? Is it because God called Adam a man and Adam called Eve a woman and named everything else because he was given dominion to label and to define everything? And everything had to be defined according to what he perceived it to be, but didn't Adam also make mistakes? So maybe it was his given dominion that brought about chaos in the first place. And his sin was his inability to speak the truth. The sin wasn't in his disobedience, but in his lying about his disobedience, lying about the truth. So I choose truth, because I believe in being the full representation of who I am. And God only called Adam a man because he had to give him a name. And in giving him a name, he gave him an identity. And so too was I given an identity. But it wasn't given by man, it was given by God. And anyone who does not know God does not know me. God wasn't defined by a body, so why should I be if we are like God? Think about that for a moment. And if you were born spirit, and spirit needed breath to be a living body, what makes you think that this body defines all the components of who you are, and heck, of who I am? Better rethink that. So listen. My parents disowned me because they could not own me for who I am. And as a result, I stand without them today. I tried so hard to hold on to that bond, but it just didn't work out. So you tell me if what they did was godly, and I'll tell you that if it was, then all that God stuff that you believe in and rely on, that you say that you love, it isn't the truth because you can't even see the God in me. So there. I hope you've taken something from today's lesson because I gave you all that I got. And if you want to know more, do your research. And if that don't work, dig. Real deep in your heart because you might find something that you lost long ago.